Modern discussions often frame astrology through a rigid, deterministic lens. This perspective treats planetary positions as a literal physical force, suggesting they push human behavior around the same way gravity dictates the movement of the tides. A second layer of the contemporary view reduces the system to a generic form of daily entertainment. This approach strips away the structural depth, leaving behind only brief, disconnected summaries designed for scrolling on a mobile screen. Early esoteric thinkers viewed the celestial sphere as an intricately organized map of psychological archetypes. For them, the sky provided a vocabulary to describe the complexities of the human mind. Within this framework, planetary nodes like Jupiter or Venus function as symbolic placeholders for specific human drives. They are markers in a language, representing different facets of consciousness, rather than physical objects exerting pressure. These symbolic placeholders form an interconnected system. The ancients used this grid to categorize the full spectrum of human experience into recognizable patterns. This organizational system operated across 3 distinct layers, defining roles in mythic stories, establishing hierarchies of society, and mapping internal bodily functions. Once the expectation of literal prediction is removed, the chart reveals its original purpose, a blueprint for understanding the structural layers of human psychology. The sun and moon are foundational dualities, representing the polarity of external action and internal reflection. Saturn introduces stable environments, governing time and rigid boundaries. Mars acts as the counterweight, using dynamic friction to disrupt static structures and initiate change. Ancient civilizations used these archetypal patterns as folders for their collective knowledge. They organized their myths and societal roles based on which planetary archetype best described a specific behavioral drive or natural event. Identifying these primary drives allows us to see the basic building blocks of the system. The next layer involves observing how these archetypes relate to one another through geometry. The psychological meaning within the system is generated through the geometric angles formed between these nodes. The relationship between the archetypes creates the internal architecture. A conjunction occurs when 2 nodes occupy the same point, blending into a unified expression. A 90-degree square creates visible pressure and internal cross-purposes. A trine offers a harmonic pathway of minimal resistance, while an opposition stretches a line of polarity, demanding balance. This sacred geometry provides a structural map. It offers a visual language to describe how our internal conflicts and natural talents are organized. The system translates these macro-celestial patterns into the individual human life through 12 distinct fields called houses. Each house governs a specific domain of the human experience, domains like personal identity, material assets and wealth, or the foundations of home life. The planetary rulers identified in the macro network are assigned to these houses. This grounds abstract archetypes into the specific contexts of an individual's daily life. This system extends further into the physical dimension. Ancient esoteric traditions mapped these archetypal rulers onto specific anatomical regions, creating a symbolic correspondence between the sky and the human body. Through the framework of the houses, the archetypal language moves from the abstract sky and downloads into the literal physical experience of the individual. This structural perspective offers a tool for self-observation. The chart functions as a symbolic map, helping to organize the chaotic flow of internal experience into recognizable patterns. Understanding this vocabulary helps individuals identify their own behavioral tendencies. By seeing the geometry of their own drives, they can track internal shifts with a higher degree of objectivity. This approach emphasizes personal agency. It provides a framework for self-awareness that allows a person to navigate their life based on structural insights rather than the anxiety of external predictions. Because ancient cultures used these same planetary archetypes to organize their societal roles, collective movements often mirror these geometric patterns. The same tensions and harmonies seen in an individual chart can be observed in the shifting sentiments of a society. The internal psychological world and the external societal world are linked through this shared symbolic architecture. Both follow the same rules of balance, polarity, and timing. Learning to read this cosmic geometry provides us a method for navigating the hidden interconnectedness of our lives. It offers a clear, structural view of the patterns that shape our internal and external worlds.